يشرفني.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations His Excellency Miloš Zeman, President of the Czech Republic, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, if you have many topics in your short speech, you have none. And if you have many priorities in your speech, you have also none. So let me concentrate on one topic and one priority only: the fight against international terrorism. You may ask why just the president of small Central European country speaks about terrorism. There are two reasons. At first, the terrorism is an outrage of human civilization and in the same time the main danger for human civilization. And the second reason, as you know, just now, practically all European countries face big migration wave, which was provoked as a consequence of terroristic actions in Middle East and in Africa. So, it is wonderful to criticize terrorism. It is wonderful to organize the demonstrations and manifestations against terrorism. And it is nice to prepare the declaration protesting against terrorism. Al-Baghdadi reading those declarations will be careful, I am sure. Anyway, there are three illusions concerning the terrorism. The first one is an illusion that terrorism will vanish, that it is something like historical fluctuation, and without human endeavor or using only local means, we are able to eliminate or reduce terroristic actions. Contrariwise, the terroristic movement is growing like a cancer. There is a diffusion of terrorism. There is a growing number of so-called failed states, growing number of assassinations, cruelties, murders, annihilation of cultural, like in the case of Palmyra, monuments, and so on and so on. And we cannot deny this growing process. Illusion number two: we reduce the terroristic organization for an so-called Islamic State only. But there are many other terroristic organizations. For instance, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, Al-Nusra, Boko Haram, and others. And two outstanding politicians from Arab world told me that the cover organization is Muslim Brotherhood. If so, there is a terroristic network, and this network cannot be reduced to Islamic State only. Third illusion is based on standard form of war against terrorism. You know that nearly all generals prepare the previous war. And what I propose as a fight against terrorism are no tanks, no infantry, no artillery. We need to seek for new forms of the fight, and because unilateral actions are heavily criticized, and more than that, they were completely unsuccessful, like in the case of Iraq, I do not recommend any massive occupation of any territory. What I recommend is coordinated action under the umbrella of Security Council of United Nations. Well, all 5 permanent members of Security Council have different interests, but one common enemy, and nothing unites more than just the common enemy, the terrorism. Just here in New York, we remember 11th of September 2001. In Russia, we remember Beslan or Volgograd. And in China, we remember Xinjiang. In Europe, we remember Madrid, London, Paris, Copenhagen. In India, we remember Bombay, and so on. So, there is one good precedent, and it is unanimously accepted resolution of Security Council concerning the pirates in Somalia, including the military action against the pirates. Do you really think that the pirates are more dangerous than the terrorists? So, in the Charter of United Nations, there are many, many articles concerning the possibility of military action, and some of them were never activated. They are called the sleeping structures. What we need is to activate them. And what we need are small military units equipped by drones, by helicopters, by cooperation of secret services, by commandos, or, if you wish, rangers. The small blue helms of some sort, which would eliminate the leaders of terroristic organizations, the nerve centers of those organizations, and not the occupation of territory. So, I firmly hope that some of the permanent members might propose such a resolution, and if not, as a historical optimist, I might add at a conclusion that any idea comes through three phases. In the first phase, it is understood as a full nonsense. In the second phase, it is disputable. And in the third phase, it is evident, like the earth moving around the sun. So, I'll come next year. And deep in my heart, I do believe my proposal will be disputable. And I'll come in 2017, and I am sure that this proposal will be evident. Thank you for your attention.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the President of the Czech Republic for the statement just made. May I request representatives to remain seated while we greet the President.